Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Draw with Rob. With me, Rob Biddulph. There I am on the back of the newest Draw with Rob activity book, which is called Amazing Animals. Stick around to the end of this video and we'll give you a little look inside. Now, I am a children's author and illustrator. You might have seen some of my picture books before. Have you seen this one? It's called Dog Gone. And it's all about Teddy here, who is a rather lovely looking pug dog, and it's all about the day that he loses his human when he's out on a dog walk. So look, he's getting ready to take his human out for a walk there. Goes for a lovely walk, but then, look, he's lost his human and he has to find him. And it's all about the various lessons he learns while he's looking for his human. It's a fun one, even if I do say so myself. Now, you might have seen my first novel, which is called Peanut Jones and the Illustrated City. My first chapter book. Here it is in its lovely hardback form. Nice hardback there. But guess what? It has just come out in paperback. There it is, a little bit smaller with a nice bendy cover. The paperback version of the book, which is a little bit cheaper, has just come out and we're super excited about it. So excited, well, you can see, look, I've drawn a different cover for it for a start. There she is on her little scooter, which is drawn with a magic pencil made out of pencil graphite. And look, she's being chased by lots of these mechanical fish, which are called Exocetia in the book. Her and Rockwell there. And I really like this cover. It's nice. Do you like the swirly bit? The colourful swirly bit? It's good, isn't it? It's good, even if I do say so myself. And as I said, it's my first chapter book. So, you know, lots of words in this, but also loads and loads and loads of pictures. Wow, that was a lot of work that went into this book, so I really hope you like it. So yeah, it's the story of this girl, Peanut Jones here. This is her best friend, Rockwell. And Peanut also has a little sister. And her little sister is called Little Bit. And she is who we're going to draw today. Now, Little Bit, lots of people say, why is she called Little Bit? I'm going to read you the chapter where we meet Little Bit. Where is it? Let's get to it here. There we go, Little Bit's chapter. This is when we meet her and it explains why she's called Little Bit. There she is running into the page. Okay, you ready? The nickname gene was strong in the Jones family. Its youngest member had been born just over 5 years ago and her parents had named her Elizabeth May. Elizabeth was an unusually early talker, saying her first word, trousers, when she was just under a year old, but she had always had trouble saying her own name. Lilybet was the closest she could get, and over time and with the help of her big sister, this became Little Bit. See, Lilybet, Little Bit. Needless to say, the nickname stuck. So there you go, that's why she's called Little Bit, and she has got a very, very important part to play in our story. There she is, she's on the back of us. The back of the book there. There's Rockwell, there's Peanut Jones, there's Little Bit Jones. This little dog is called Doodle. I think we've done Doodle before. We drew Doodle. Video number 102 was Doodle. And this here, this is the back of the alligator Jonathan Higginbottom, which you might have drawn with me as well. That was number 103. If you haven't done those two, you should go back and check them out and look them up and do some drawing because they're super fun ones. But yes, Little Bit plays a very, very important part of our story because even though she's only 5, she is super smart. And she's particularly good at solving puzzles. She's a really keen puzzler, and there's at least one big puzzle in this story, maybe even 2, I think, and she is the one who solves those puzzles. So yes, very, very important character in the book. Let's stop talking, shall we, and let's get drawing. Here's my piece of paper. Now, just in case you haven't ever done one of these videos with me before, this is how they work. Lots of people say to me they don't think they're very good at drawing. I say, do you know what? Everybody can draw. Some people just need a little bit of help with the order that we do the drawing in, and that's where I come in, because even though a character like Little Bit might look quite complicated to draw when you first look at her, if you break her down into the simple component parts, little shapes and lines, it soon becomes very easy for her to draw. It's like building a model with Lego. You kind of do it a little bit at a time, and at the end you end up with something that you're really, really proud of. And that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to draw a little bit on my piece of paper, then you can pause the video, copy what I do, start me up, I'll draw some more, then you draw, I draw, you draw, I draw, you draw, I draw, you draw, I draw, you draw, and at the end you're going to end up with a lovely picture of little bit. So grab yourselves a piece of paper, grab yourselves a pen or a pencil, something to draw with. We might want something to colour with a bit later on, but that's not essential, so don't worry if you haven't got any colours. And shall we make a start? Shall we do this? Now, this is a little bit, it's one of the more complicated ones, I would say, that we've done, but still, it's really, really easy. Just follow what I do and you're going to be absolutely fine. Right, the first thing I want you to do is towards the top of your page, I want you to draw a kind of semicircle like this. So we're going to come up sort of right towards the top of your page, and it's going to be, it's sort of a semicircle, but we're going to do it sort of on its side a bit. So sort of like a wonky semicircle. You see what I mean? Like that. Now you can see my line isn't perfectly smooth. Don't worry at all if your line isn't exactly like mine. See how I'm sort of correcting it, or trying to correct it. I'm probably making it worse actually, just to make it smoother, but we're not trying to be perfect here. We don't want our drawing to be too perfect. Drawings that are too perfect they look like computers have done them. And we are not computers, we are human beings. It's often those little imperfections that give our drawing character. So if yours doesn't look exactly like mine, please don't worry, just keep on going. Right. The next thing that I want you to do, we're going to join up these 2 points, but we're not going to do it in a dead straight line. I think we're going to do it in a slight curve. So we're going to come down a bit at that end and then sort of curve back up a little bit and join them up like that. I just said a little bit, didn't I? I said her name. I'm probably going to be saying her name quite a lot in today's video. So you end up with a sort of leaf shape towards the top of your page. Sorry, my chair is very creaky. I don't know if the microphone's picking it up, but my chair seems very, very creaky today. So again, apologies if that is annoying you. Right, okay, let's think. Right, I think, even me, right, I made these characters up, but I have to sort of remember how I drew them, because sometimes you can sort of forget slightly. So I'm going to try and remember myself. Right, I think this is what we're going to do next. We're going to draw her head. Okay, next, so what I want you to do, about a centimetre in from the edge of our little leaf shape here, I want you to come out. We're going to draw a sort of oval shape. So we're going to come out here and we're going to sort of curve around like that, head right down here, about this sort of size, I think, something like that, and we're going to go back up like that, and we'll join up with our leaf there. So sort of like an oval shape. Everything's a bit kind of wonky, isn't it? So our leaf was a bit wonky, and our oval, instead of being like straight like that, we're making it a bit of an angle like that, because we're going to do her with her head slightly tipping over. See what I mean? You probably don't. I should just keep drawing, stop talking. I tell you what, quite often it's a good, I think, when you're doing a complicated drawing, it's quite good to put the eyes in early on, because they sort of help. They help you, give you a bit of structure on your piece of paper, and yet everything else sort of comes out of the eyes, if you see what I mean. So I'm going to draw the eyes now. So we're going to draw 2 big circles. We're going to do one up here, like that. And then we're going to do one down here. Now this one I'm going to do very slightly smaller, I think, just to give our drawing a little bit of perspective. Because this eye, if this was her head and her head was slightly angled away from us, this eye would be just a little bit bigger. A little bit, there we go, another little bit. See if you can count how many little bits I say today. Okay, let's do the pupils. We're going to do her looking straight at us. So do you remember I told you about this before? We're not going to do the pupil right in the centre of the eye. I'm going to do it very slightly over to the right hand side. Ooh, somebody's sending me texts. Should have turned my phone off, shouldn't I? Never mind. Professional to the end, that's me. There we go. 2 little pupils, and look. Do you see what I mean? Now we sort of, you can see in your head the way that her head should look. See what I mean? It really does help. And once we've got the eyes in there, that means we can draw the nose too. This is how we do the nose. Basically, down here, I want you to do a little sort of C shape, like that. So a little C shape just down to the right of the eye on the left. And then coming up from that C shape, we're just going to do a little straight line. And that's how we're going to draw Little Bit's nose. Should we give her a mouth too? Let's give her a nice smiley mouth. That's going to be down sort of below this eye here. Like that. Just a little tiny smiley mouth. Like that. There we go. It sort of looks like Little Bit already, I think. Now, there's some more elements that I want to add to the face here, like eyelashes and eyebrows, but I am going to leave those until after I've coloured her face in, purely because if I was to do them now, I'd sort of have to colour in around those fiddly bits, because otherwise it might smudge my ink when I use my coloured pencil. So I'm going to wait till I've coloured it in, and then I'll add those bits over the top. You see, that's another good little tip. If ever you're drawing something with ink and coloured pencil, if you have fiddly bits, do the ink last. So you have to sort of think ahead a little bit with your drawing sometimes. Let's give her an ear though. Her ear is going to be right up here underneath that first bit of that leaf shape we drew. So we're just going to come up there and we're going to draw a little sort of curvy bit like that for her ear. And do you remember, oh actually no, I was going to do the inside of her ear, but I nearly forgot. I was going to draw it there, but again I'm going to leave that till right at the end, so we're going to come back to that. So after I've coloured it in, I'll add those bits on over the top. Right, so this leaf shape that we drew is actually going to be part of her hair, little bit's hair. And we're going to draw the other part of the hair, the top bit of her hair, over here now. So we're going to draw another sort of curvy bit. We're going to come out, come round, but she's got a little bit of loose hair, I think, here, so we're going to sort of swirl away like that. Then we're going to go back on ourselves like that. This is why I'm using a slightly thinner pen today than I usually do, because it's a little bit more fiddly. So there we go, we're just going to do a little bit of her hair coming out there. And she actually wears a hairband. So the way we're going to do the hairband, first of all, from just above the ear, we're going to do another diagonal line that comes up like that across her hair. And then coming out of that, about 1 centimetre from the end, we're going to draw a sort of curve that goes like around her head. And if we do another one next to it, that sort of suggests that she's wearing a hair, you know, one of those Alice bands, those hair bands. In fact, you know what, you can even carry it on a bit over the top if you like, and if we colour it in, we can sort of make, it's going to be a very dark colour anyway, and you can sort of do that and make it look like it's going all the way over her head, like that. Don't worry, when we come to shading or colouring our drawing in, again, this will make a bit more sense. Okay, let's carry on a bit further now. We're going to give her a neck. The neck is going to come down from basically just below her mouth. Going to come down 2 little lines. She's got we can only see a tiny bit of her neck, so just 1/4 centimetre lines coming down like that, and then we'll join them up in a little curvy shape, like so. And she wears, in this story, in the first book, because I'm writing and illustrating the second book as we speak, and in the second book she wears different clothing to that she wears in the first book. Because in the first book she's in her school uniform, or her sort of reception uniform. So the reception uniform basically consists of a little white shirt that she wears underneath her pinafore dress, and on top of the pinafore dress is a cardigan. So the little shirt, all we can see of it is the collar. This is how we do that. We come down from the neck, we curve around to a middle point, we curve around again, and we head off up there, and we join back up with the neck. And that's kind of like the little shirt collar. Okay? See, it is a bit fiddly, this. It is a bit fiddly, but you know, hopefully you're staying with me. And sometimes those fiddly ones are the ones that you're most proud of at the end as well, I think. Okay, let's draw her shoulders in, shall we? Well, actually, we just draw this shoulder, because I'm going to do her with her arms behind her back, partly because, you know, hands can be quite fiddly, can't they? And this drawing is difficult enough as it is, so I thought we'd just put her with her hands behind her back. So we're going to come out from the collar, like that, curve around, all the way down here, and then just curve around at the bottom into about there. So what's that? 3 or 4 centimetres down? And then what we can do is, from here, we're going to draw the side of her cardigan. So we're going to come down, not quite straight, at a very slight angle. And then before we get to level with this bottom bit here, we're going to curve around and just head in at right angles, like that. Now trust me, it looks a bit weird, but trust me, this is going to work. Then from that point we just finished, we're going to head back off up our page, just 1.5 centimetres, like that. Trust me, this will become clear. Then from this corner, I want you to do a lovely, I want you to draw a lovely diagonal line that comes down our page, goes past that bottom line, and stops around about there. Dead straight, but diagonal. Okay? Then let's go over to this side now. We'll go over to this side. We're going to go back up to this side of the collar, okay? And we're going to come down diagonally down our page, slightly curved to about there, so roughly level with this side of the cardigan. And then we'll just go down again in a dead straight line, so we're sort of roughly level with that side. I'm slightly lower actually, aren't I? But that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Then we're going to join the two up. But we're not going to join them up in a dead straight line. We're going to join them up in a slightly curved line, like that. And you can see now that our drawing has come together, can't you? You can see her dress here, and you can see this side of her cardigan with her arm going behind her back. See? It's like magic, isn't it, when a drawing comes together like this? Let's do the other side of her cardigan here. We're basically going to come down, so the shoulder came out of the top part of the collar. We're going to do the same here. So we go over to this side of the collar, and this time, because of the perspective of our drawing, we just need to do it quite thin. It's going to come down like that. That arm can go behind the back there, and let's just add a little bit, a suggestion of the cardigan there, like that. And that's just going to be that side. Okay. Now then, little bit, she always wears two badges on this side, so she has one little circular badge there and one little circular badge there, and I can't remember the colours now off the top of my head. Where's my cover? Let's have a look at this cover, the hardback cover. There we go. Well, the top one's green and the bottom one is pink. Now the reason that she wears those two badges is because I can remember when I was at nursery school, we used to get two badges like that. If you were, there was a thing called, when you were made a kingfisher, I think it's when you'd been at nursery for a little while, and it meant you were you had slightly more important jobs to do than some of the younger children. And when you got that first badge, which was, what did I say it was? The colour of the first badge? Green. When you got that, it meant you were a kingfisher. So you were a kingfisher. And then when you'd been there even longer and were even more important and were given more important jobs, you got the pink badge too, and that meant you were something called a kingfisher helper. So a little bit here as a kingfisher helper. So I always like to include things that happened in my real life, or either my real life or my children's real life. It's really nice to kind of put those in the story because they're sort of there forever then. When it's in a book, it's there forever, and I really like to include those bits. It makes me happy. Right, now there's a few more details we're going to add to this dress, but again, I'm going to wait until I've coloured it in, and then we'll go back over everything and add all the kind of the little detail-y bits here and there as and when we get to those bits. Right, let's give her some legs, shall we? Now the legs, we're going to do them coming straight out of the bottom of her skirt, of her pinafore, the skirt part of her pinafore dress. So we're going to do a line about 2 centimetres long, something like that, and then another one next to it, but I'm not doing them parallel, I'm doing them slightly going outwards. Partly because, mainly actually, because we're slightly looking down on this, on a little bit in this drawing, so we're going to add just a little tiny bit of perspective to her legs, okay? Let's do the other lines. Let's do one coming up there, and we'll do the other one there, I think. But can you see they're slightly wider at the top than they are at the bottom? And then we're going to give her some feet. Now the feet, we're going to come down, go out, go around, we'll do a nice rounded end on the foot, okay, like that. And similarly, well actually this time, because she's standing with her feet slightly up, sort of going at, what's that, 10 to 2, we're going to do this one at a slightly different angle. We're going to come out like that and go round in a slightly tighter curve like that, so we can see slightly more the top of this foot and the side of this foot, if that makes sense. Oh, this is quite, do you know what, I don't think I realised how complicated this drawing was until I started doing it. It's quite tricky, but hopefully, you know, you're going to learn quite a lot doing this. Let's add her shoes now. The way we're going to add her shoes, she's wearing those kind of school shoes with the one buckle strap thing that goes over the top. So what we're going to do, we're going to draw another, oh, I can't even see my phone, so I don't know oh no, my phone is, this is my phone recording it, so I don't know where that noise is coming from. Maybe it's my computer or something, who knows. Either way, I really should have turned it off, so I do apologise. Right, where was I? Yes, we're going to curve around, and we're going to sort of add a bit like that to the side of the foot, which is going to form the main body of her shoe. And then because the tights that she's wearing are white, I'm going to actually do this bit. Usually if she was wearing, say, yellow tights, I wouldn't do this until after I'd coloured it in, but because it's white we can do that now. We can add that strap now because I don't have to colour it over the top of it. We do the same over here, except this time the shoe's going to come round and it's going to disappear a bit quicker into the outline because we're seeing slightly more of the side of the shoe. In fact, I might just flesh it out a bit at the back to make it look a bit more shoe-like. We'll do the same there. So, you know, even me, I keep changing my drawing as I go along, so don't worry if you're doing the same. And then we'll add the strap across the top there, like that. And there we go. Little bits to shoes. Okay, we're nearly at the point where we can colour, but you will have noticed that her hair just sort of stops behind her ear there and behind the side of her head there. We need to add the back of her hair because she has this lovely long flowing blonde hair. So what we're going to do imagine that bit of the hair goes straight through her ear. We're going to come down, then we're going to go out a bit like that. Maybe we'll add a little curly bit coming out the side there. Why not? You can do that if you like. And then we sort of disappear in here behind her. And then this side, imagine that would go through behind her cheek there, and then it would sort of come out down here. Maybe make it a little bit sort of wavy, wobbly. We'll add a little curly bit there, and then we'd go back in there as well. There we go. That is the back of Little Bit's hair. So now we've got a pretty good outline of Little Bit Jones. I think it's time we did a bit of colouring, and then we can finally, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to add all the little details that I've been talking about. So shall we go into super speed mode to do the colouring? What do you think? Yeah? You're going to let me go into super speed mode? Jolly good. You don't want to sit here watching me colour this in for hours, do you? I will be back here in 20 to 30 seconds with a beautifully coloured in Little Bit Jones. Are you ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Okay, so there is a little bit. She's pretty much coloured in completely. Few little bits here and there to tell you about. You can see I've added, basically I decided that the light was going to come in from this side of my drawing. So this side of her face is slightly lighter and it goes gradually darker, sort of pink shades around here, just to give it a little bit of depth. You can see I've added some rosy cheeks there. She's got lovely rosy cheeks. And similarly with the dress is lighter blue here and then darker blue there, and there's a sort of shadow, very subtle shadow underneath her chin that would be cast across her shoulder, and the back of her hair is a bit darker, and there's a bit of darkness sort of the top of her tights there, just to give everything that little bit of depth. So you know, you can see how I've done that, so if you want to do the same thing then you go for it too. Now let's add those extra details, shall we? First of all, I'm just going to go over the top of that with my black pen just to make it a bit darker. Then I'm going to add 5 little eyelashes out to the side there, and then 5 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See what I mean? It's much easier to draw over the top of the colour than to colour around it. Similarly, the eyebrows, we're going to add an eyebrow up there, and we'll do one over here that's just sort of disappearing slightly behind her hair. And we'll just go over the top of that line as well to make it a bit darker. There we go. And we're going to give her some freckles. Actually, the freckles, let's do her freckles. I'll find a nice sort of dark browny red pencil here, and we'll just add a few little freckles just on her top of her cheeks, like that, just over the top of the rosiness there. And then we'll do some in this side as well. Oh, that one's a bit of a line, make it a bit bigger. There we go. Bounce it out on that side. There we go. A few little freckles just to make it look extra cute. What else do I need to do? Anything else I need to add? Yes, we're going to add a bit of detail on the cardigan too. So just behind the 2 badges, her Kingfisher Helper badges, we're going to add like a little seam that just goes up the side of her cardigan there, and we'll add some little sort of buttonholes like that there. I don't think we need to do much on that side, but we will add some detail to her dress. So we'll add a sort of a waistband, just going around there, and then a few little very thin black pleat lines, just like this, that sort of help to describe the shape of her little school dress, just like that. And that's pretty good, I think. Some bits where I've done the yellow coloured pencil does tend to sort of, the lighter ones basically, you sometimes need to go back over the top of your black line. Oh yes, that's right, I was going to add the swirly ear bit. So this is how I do the insides of ears. As long-term viewers will know that that's how I do it. Let's just go back over the top of her nose and mouth as well to make sure they're nice and dark. There we go. And that's pretty much a little bit finished. What do you think? Doesn't she look cute? I like this one. It's a nice one. Now, what do I always tell you to do at the end of your drawings? Hang on, let's just add a little bit, just where those little lines go behind her head. We can make those a little bit darker with the pen right at the top, because again, it just helps to add a bit of definition and depth. And we can do the same in here, in this sort of dark area of the hair. Just add a few little lines here and there. Can you see? That made quite a big difference, actually. Right, the last thing that I tell you to do, very important, we need to sign our drawings, don't we? So make sure you all do a nice signature at the bottom of your drawing here. I'll write my whole name today, I think. There we go. My signature on my little bit drawing. What do you think? Fun, wasn't it? Should I show you that puzzle? Remember I said she's a really good puzzler. I'm going to show you the puzzle in the book, okay? Just so you can see how good she is. Now where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Now it's right towards the end of the book. Hopefully this isn't a spoiler, because I'm not going to show you how she solves the puzzle. I'm just going to show you the puzzle. Okay, she gets, well, the gang of them, they get this little bit of paper here with these words and letters on them, the word fathom and all these little letters here, and she has to work out what that puzzle is, what that code tells her how to do. There you go, there's a little clue how she does it. But oh, isn't she clever? She does lots of word puzzles. So you should, if you want to know how that puzzle is solved and what it means, you need to read the book. But I just wanted to show you that, just to show you what a smart little cookie little bit here is. So listen, I hope you've enjoyed drawing a little bit with me today. I really like showing you how to do this one. It was a tricky one. It is tricky, and I don't expect yours to look exactly like mine. They shouldn't look exactly like mine. There is no right or wrong answer, as I say with drawing. And if yours are a little bit kind of quirkier, or a little, their eyes are bigger here or there, and the hair is maybe a different colour, you might have gone for totally different colouring. That's absolutely fine. But either way, I cannot wait to see your drawings of Little Bit, because I'm very fond of Little Bit and I can't wait to see how you guys interpret her. So what you need to do in order for me to see it is you need to get your grown-ups to take a picture of your drawings and then post it on social media using this hashtag #DrawWithRob. That way I will get to see it. If you're watching on Facebook, you can comment below with a picture of your drawing too, and I'll get to see those too. And I really, really can't wait to see your drawings. So please, please, please do show me them. What else can I tell you? Right, if you want to be the first one to be notified when a new Draw with Rob video is dropping, there's a couple of things you can do. Firstly, you should subscribe to my newsletter. You just go to this website here and you just sign up for it with your email address. It's totally free, obviously, and then you won't get spammed. You just get a little email telling you when the next Draw with Rob video is coming. You'll also get news of new books and my tours, so maybe one day you can come and meet me, show me your drawings, and I'll sign your books for you. That would be nice, wouldn't it? If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you turn your you subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on, then you'll get told when a new video is coming out. That's a good thing to do. Hang around to the end of this video as well, and you will see inside the latest Draw with Rob activity book, which is called Amazing Animals. And also, as an extra little bonus, at the time of recording, it was World Book Day a week or two ago, and lots and lots and lots of you dressed up as some of my characters. We had lots of odd dogs, we had some Fred bears, We had some Teddy the Pugs from Doggone, but we had loads and loads of Peanut Jones characters, mainly Peanut. I mean, hundreds of Peanut Joneses, and they were so brilliant. But we even had a few little bits and a few Doodle the dogs, and I loved seeing them. And I could see how much effort you'd put into your costumes, particularly the Peanut ones. People had made the bandoliers that hold all the art equipment, and I loved seeing them. So I've just made a little video showing a few of the best, well, not just the best ones, just as many as I saw. I tried to grab as many as I could see and put them all in to this little compilation of Peanut Joneses and Little Bits and Doodles and Odd Dogs and all that sort of thing. So hang around until after the Draw with Rob activity book video, and you will see just a little video of some of the World Book Day competition, World Book Day costumes, because I just wanted to include them so that everyone could see them. So thank you so much to everyone who dressed up as my characters. It really is a huge honour for us authors and illustrators to see you adopt one of our characters as your World Book Day costume. It really is a huge honour, and I feel very humbled when that happens. Right, that's enough from me. I think it's time that you should get on with your days. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've loved showing them to you. I'm going to be back very soon with another Draw with Rob video. In the meantime, everybody, keep those pencils sharpened, keep on reading, keep on drawing, and I will see you very soon. Bye, everyone. Hello everyone, just when you thought you got rid of me, here I am again, popping up at the end of your video to annoy you. And I'm here today to tell you all about this, the brand new Draw with Rob activity book, and it's called Amazing Animals. And that's because it's full of loads of amazing animals. It's true, it really is. We've got little ones, like this guy here. We have got some really big ones. We have got animals that live in the sea. We have got animals that spend most of their time up in the sky. And of course, there's loads and loads of really cute ones. What's in the book, I hear you ask? Well, we have got loads and loads of really cool and quite tricky puzzles for you to do. We've got some pages where I start the drawings off and you guys get to finish them. We have got lots of really nice colouring pages for you to do too. And of course, it wouldn't be a Draw with Rob book without lots of exclusive, never before seen draw-alongs. And I've got the frames as per usual for you to put the pictures in. And of course, all the pages are perforated. So once you've done your beautiful works of art, you can tear them out and stick them up on the wall and display them for all to see. And then when you get to the end of your book, look, we've got a really cool certificate. You put your name in there and it says, this is to certify that your name is officially an amazing animal artist. Isn't that cool? The book is out right now. You can get it right now from wherever you get your books, be it online or from your local bookshop, if you can, please. It was so much fun to put this book together. I really loved doing it. I really hope you love the book too. I think if you like these videos, I think you're going to love this book, to be honest. So get yourself a copy. If you do, let me know what you think of it. Right, I better let you go. You've got to get on with your day, haven't you? I'm going to be back very soon with another Draw with Rob video. In the meantime, everybody, keep those pencils sharpened, keep on drawing, keep on reading, and take care. Bye-bye.